Hi, this is Bruce Logan Prengamar of the Media Outsiders, and this is another one of my video tutorials. In our last video, we talked about using the web client on TalkShoe for host. Well, today we're going to look at using the buttons as a participant, just as a regular user going into the chat room. And what I have up is I created, under my main name, I created a community call. It's an unlisted call. And I just want to show you some of the buttons and some of the features available for using this as a host. So we want to look at some of the buttons here. Now, as we talked about this, the buttons are pretty much the same as using it for a host, except there's just not as many buttons available. What we have up here is you have your icon for your show, Logan's Free for All Open Mic Show. You have the name up here, which if you were to click on this, it would take you directly to the page, which in my case, this is an unlisted page that I use just for making shows like this. You then have the episode number. You have a link that will take you to who is the host. You have down here, here's a button. If you click on this, you sign up to receive email notifications of future shows. This is the same as following the show. By clicking on this, you will be notified when a show is available, and then you can go in and participate in that show. Right here we have a little advertisement here. In this one we're talking about hosts. Get your direct dial telephone number unique to your show, which we do have a video available for that on TalkShoeSupport.com, where Dr. Robert White explains the direct dial videos, our telephone numbers, sorry. Down here is your main chat window, and this shows when the guests have logged in, who's on the call, when the show has started. It pops up little messages from TalkShoe Support, from TalkShoe Messenger, but all of the communication goes down the screen. It scrolls right down the screen like this here. And down here, this is our chat window, where you can type in your message, and it will appear in the list. And I am logged in right now as guest number 3. And as you can see, everything I type in goes down the screen. Unlike TalkShoe Live Pro, which goes horizontally across the screen, all your communications here scrolls down the screen. Now, if Logan were to type in something, if I did it under my main name of Logan, it would appear underneath, and so on all the way down. Down here at the bottom, we have some ads by Google, which most people don't pay attention to that. Then over here, you have your important information. This is the call in now information. If you haven't called in on the phone, it gives you the information for doing it. It tells you the telephone number that you can dial into, 1-724-444-7444 is the main number for TalkShoe. That brings you into the phone bridge. If you're using a VoIP program, like SJ Phone, like XLite, you would be using 66.212.134.192. At that point, you would enter the normally a 5-digit call ID. In this case, it's 51788, and you would enter the pound key. Now, the whole time you're going to be hearing a little female voice giving you prompts on how to do all this. After that, you would enter your telephone number, your PIN number. If you are entering in as a guest like I am right here, you would enter 359-527-003 and the pound key. It's not the same for all guests, so don't memorize that number. It's a different telephone number each time. Over on this side over here, we show who is in the room. You always up at the top under a green banner, you have the host. And if you click on this link here, it would take you to the host user profile available on TalkShoe. There you would be able to find hopefully a public email address if they have one listed, find out more about the shows. After that, you'd have the next people in line, in this case, guest number 3, which is myself. Now, if we zoom in on this, here are some little buttons here, some icons. Right here you see a screen icon, and this tells you that I am logged in on the chat room. What you also have next to it, and we have a prime example right here under Logan, is you have a telephone number. This means that you are dialed in on the call. Now, since I can't dial in as the host and start the show and dial in as a guest at the same time, I'm not going to light that up. But as you see here, since guest 3 is not dialed in, it's grayed out. And this list can go down the screen. You can have up to 250 callers on at one time, 300 chatters available for a total of 550 in your show at one time. Up at the top it tells you who you're logged in as. Once again we have some more Google ads down here. And then we have this button right over here. It's sort of grayed out. It's kind of hard to see. But if I was on a telephone call right now, and if this was lit up, and say for some reason the host had me muted out with the red Ghostbuster symbol. A lot of hosts, they don't like guests to call in until they know who that person is, and they will mute them out. With this here, I could click on this button right over here, and it places yourself in the queue requesting to speak. But what would happen is you'd then see a little icon appear right next to here showing the host that I would like to speak. Down here, you have your streaming audio sections. You have a volume control. You have the play button. Right now we have it paused because I don't want to have a feedback coming over from me being called in under Logan. But you can adjust your controls right here. Here's a little start button, pause button to allow you to turn on and off the audio. Down below we have a link here that will take you and allow you to download TalkShoe Live Pro, which is our other chat client. TalkShoe Live Pro is a downloadable standalone program, and a lot of hosts like using that because there's just more features and more availability with TalkShoe Live Pro. It is also a little bit more stable than the web client. And then down at the bottom down here we have a link here, which we're going to be doing a video very soon on this as well, on reporting a concern. And with this here, you would click on this link and it would take you to a page, and say the host was doing something that was not under the proper rating of the show. Say he had an A for all audiences rating, but he was doing explicit language, or you have difficulties logging in. By clicking on this page here, it would take you to a page where you can fill out the information and send it to support@talkshoe.com and let us know what's going on. But these are the basic buttons available here for use with the web client for a user. Once again, it's pretty much the same thing as using it as a host, except the host has more available features and commands that they can do for their show. Well, I'm Bruce Logan Prengelmeyer. This has been one of our video tutorials. You can find all of our video tutorials available at www.mediaoutsiders.com and also www.talkshoesupport.com, where Dr. Robert White and I have up to about 40 videos available on podcasting. Well, thank you for joining us, and you have a great day.